2.
Watercooler.
Ba 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 dum.
Watercooler. Watercooler.
Ba 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 dum. Hey, what's up, water cooler? Thank you so much. I'm calling everybody water cooler. That's the name of the show, but it's what I shall be calling everybody as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know how the show goes. All right, Chris Locks, I'm on to kick it with my Corolla Digital Bud and Gary and Matt with me today, all the way in Austin, Texas. Mr. Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hi. Are you okay, Matt? What's the matter?
I just didn't want it to skip. Did it skip?
He thinks Matt thinks it's volume control.
Is this how you're going
I
to
tried to do it real quiet.
Matt's mic he's been having some microphone
Brother.
issues, so he thinks it's the volume of his voice, so he's going to keep it real mellow, keep it real low. Well, still
That's the way
breathing
science works.
low.
The teching in of the show and just having me say, hey, brother, what must have been 10 to 15 times? Like, I can't do it anymore. I may have to
Do we tell
retire
him,
it.
guys? It never cut out.
Oh, you fucker.
No, it did. It cut out every single
I'm
time. You're
sure
Mike
it
dog
did.
shit. All right, and then all the way in North Hollywood, California, it's Mike Dawson.
What is up, dudes? It is good to be back.
It's so good. It's been too long, man. And then all the way in Orange County, California, Gary Smith.
Hey, dog shit, Mike.
Yep. And
Did not skip.
and reminder, this
I asked you guys which microphone to get. You guys both said, yeah, get that one.
I
Yeah,
don't know
the
if it's a
mic's
microphone
good.
issue. Yeah.
Mike's great.
It's actually a good mic. All right, and no Kalen today. He will be on for the Patreon episode later this week. This is episode 413, also known as 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 68. So, yeah. What the heck? Where does time go?
Wow.
We are just flying, just 69 and all over the place. So, yeah, we are going to hit a milestone next episode. And I'd say it's a pretty big one. Then after that, it's like it's a 6-banger, and then we get, and then we hit the 9
This will be the 6-banger.
and
Yeah.
then we'll do the 69 banger one day when we're all old men.
Wow, when we get to 69 to the 69th degree, I think that's really when it all comes down.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, it's been too long. Look, we heard about Gary, Kalen, and Matt's holiday break, their vacation, and now I haven't heard from.
That's only if you're a Patreon member.
That's right. Yeah, it was last episode. Well, actually, I heard Gary and Kalen's. I don't remember hearing Matt in that episode at all. But now that Dawson's back, I definitely want to hear what he's been up to for the holidays. I have some stuff too. Dawson, you just got back from the Bay Area. You saw the parents. You're making ravioli. Very active in the Facebook group, which I appreciate because it's kind of keeping tabs on you there.
Oh, it's nice. The people in our Facebook group are the best people in the world. There's another Corolla Facebook group. Everybody in there is a fucking dick. Not everybody, but that's where they reside. Everybody in our group is super fucking nice. It's like,
Yeah.
if you want to hear complaints about your job, go to the other Facebook.
No, our Facebook group is super positive.
Yeah.
Our group is
I'm a
fucking
member-
awesome. So
I'm
I
a
like to
member of
share.
both.
I
Yeah.
like the people are in there and they genuinely care. So,
They're good peeps for sure.
yeah. So now I started out my holiday break by doing a comedy for Alan Parsons' 75th birthday party.
I saw that. That was that was a big show. Is that a
It's
theater?
a big fucking show.
Joe Bonamassa is playing.
Yeah, dude. So I'm
What the
standing
heck?
backstage watching soundcheck, and there's a guy 5 dudes away from me on the wing of the stage, and it looks like Joe Bonamassa.
When you say 5
just-
dudes away from you, were there 5 people between you guys, or that's just the distance, like 5 dudes?
There were various dudes and 5 various dudes in various places.
Okay.
Joe was 3 curtain wings in front of me. You know how there are curtain wings that you can see through on the stage, but no one can see backstage.
This is the stage unit.
I was at the 3rd one, at the 4th one. He was at the 1st one, and I could only see his profile. I can only see him from like the back, from like here.
Wait,
But
but
it's a dude in a hooded sweatshirt,
Yeah.
wearing a ball cap.
Matt
And from
and Gary,
that
do you know
angle,
who
it looks
this
like,
is?
and I'm like,
No.
God, that looks like Joe Bonamassa. And then I was by the green rooms, and then he walks by, and I'm like, Joe, and he goes, hey, what's up, dude? So we chatted for a few minutes. That was fun. But yeah, dude,
Joe
I got to do
Bonamassa is a legendary modern legend blues guitarist. He's been in the game since he was like 12 or 13. His guitar collection, he's basically the Jay Leno of guitar collecting, where he has probably the most epic collection of vintage guitars and amps in the world.
I forgot, dude. I will share this in the Facebook group, Chris, but I took a picture of Joe Bonamassa's amp after I was told that I forget the price. It's outrageous though. It's at least in the tens of the thousands of dollars.
Yeah, so like he'll go amplifier. He goes and seeks out these vintage guitars.
Yeah.
And he'll buy one, and then he'll fly and buy one, and when he flies back, he buys that guitar business class seat because he doesn't trust it checking it in or gate checking it or anything like that, and he just sits it up there next to him or in the aisle in front of him, and there's just a guitar sitting there, and that's just it.
I thought you were gonna say that he flies coach.
Oh,
I like that. I like that idea better. Like,
maybe he's
got the guitar in business class, and he just says to the stewardess, like, "Hey, this is mine. You treat it right."
Yeah,
he goes back to coach.
He very much could, because he just posts the picture of the guitar. He doesn't say where he's sitting, so we don't really know, to be honest. He could very well be giving that guitar some Comfort Plus and some comped drinks.
I wonder if he's gonna say if he's gonna get a comped drink for the guitar, he needs to be sitting next to it to like make the flight attendant understand, this is not just any normal guitar case. This is one that likes to consume alcohol, and it shall be treated as such.
And he also tells the stewardess that it's the guitar's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Gets some nice
absolutely. He needs the pin.
Yeah.
A tour of the cockpit, please.
Cockpit, yes, he's the cockpit. Just does all that fun stuff. The guitar basically is living a better life than any of us.
Yeah. So it was nice to see him. Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits thinks I'm hilarious. I did like 8.5 minutes. Michael McDonald fucking played 2 songs.
Wow.
He did I keep forgetting how I sound. He did.
I feel like I was there.
I know.
God, you're gonna set off my Shazam, Dawson.
Dude, I thought my Spotify just went on.
Might have done Taking It to the Streets, but I don't remember. Anyway, it was a fucking awesome show. And then was
this a ticketed event or was it private? Like, what is Alan Parsons?
Ticketed, yeah. Low end tickets were $300. VIP tickets were $600.
Look at Alan Parsons.
Which is why, like, I wanted to be there. I felt like I had to be there. It's Alan's 75th birthday. So I emailed Alan and his wife and just said, I'd really love to be there. Can I work? I can help with hospitality. I can do, I can tech, I can do whatever. And they came back to me 5 days later and said, we want you to do stand-up at the top of the show. And I'm like, so I opened with an Alan story. I closed with an Alan story.
How many times did you mention the Olive Garden?
You know what? I didn't. I forget. I got to remember to throw that back into my sets.
Did you use that placenta banger you have?
No. I just did. I did all my classic rock stuff.
Okay, there you go.
What did Alan's wife think about you being throat effed by God?
It's funny, dude. She thought it was hilarious.
Oh, you did do that one.
Of course I did. But now put yourself there. The average age of people in this audience was 65. That's the average. It had to be. 65 ain't really that old anymore. I'm gonna be 50 in March. So, 65 is old, yes, but it's not that far away.
The big 5 was in March?
Maybe that's the meetup.
There was a lot of laughter when I did the throat fucked joke. But there was an equal number of gasps,
which is kind of that seems right.
And the gasp turned into laughter.
Well, that was them.
I was a little worried.
You're looking for gaspter. That's what everybody wants when they do a show. You want gaspter.
Yes,
but it was good. It was great. It was so much fun.
Because you inhale a lot with the gasp, so the exhale implies large laughter.
Right. So, but I was nervous as fuck. I mean, it felt like it was I was doing my own comedy special in a fucking theater with a spotlight. The stage is fucking at least 80 feet long. And I'm the only one up there.
How
Yeah.
much time do you
And
do?
8.5 minutes.
Any props?
Nice.
No, I didn't do
No
any prop. I
props.
left the prop
Dang.
comedy at home. But you know, I kept it Alan Parsons centric. Talked about how we first met, and he compared me to Sid Barrett. And I said, so I got that merit badge. And
Barrett badge.
Barrett badge. And then I closed with how I, went back to audio engineering school. And if you go back to audio engineering school in your 40s, you better get straight A's or you're wasting your time. And the whole time in school, I got one question on one test wrong. When I was building the signal chain for a kick drum, I did not put a compressor on it. And I told Alan that I missed one question. And Alan said, you never compress anything you hit with a stick or a mallet. And I went back to school and I told them that Alan Parsons said, and they changed my grade.
Yeah.
and they, and then I, told one more quick story about how Alan's great, and it worked out perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better night.
Congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What a power
What-
move.
What kind of check do you walk with?
Oh no,
$300 tickets. They got to break you off a hundo
No.
or something. Come on.
no,
Yeah. For the
dude.
time.
Alan is a big nut.
I know. I was kidding.
Yeah.
That's really awesome,
Well,
man. Good for you. I'm happy you got to do that. That's super fun.
I was blessed. Seriously, blessed.
That reminds me of
Very
that
cool.
story, which I think I heard it from Anderson, who on the Film Vault, who went to Cal State Long Beach, and he said like he went and there, that's where Steven Spielberg went for film school after he already directed a few of his movies, and then decides, oh, I don't have a degree, I'm gonna go back to school. He goes to Cal State Long Beach, and rumor has it never showed up a day for class, except
Correct.
for the very last day where he walks in to turn in his final, which everyone had turned in a film, and he turned in ET and then walked
Yep.
out.
That is 100% true. He recently was on a show I produced and he told that story again. You're exactly right.
No way,
That's
really?
pretty awesome.
Uh-huh.
Produced a
Spielberg?
show that Steven Spielberg was on.
No, Anderson, unfortunately. We're not pulling Spielberg these days.
Damn. Yeah, that I love that story. It's just so badass. So that reminded me, like, yeah, Alan Parsons said this. I remember one time I was at NAMM, which the National Artist Music Convention.
Did you two play?
Merchant? Yeah, the same show where I saw you two.
I
And
was racing so
and I was
hard
meeting
to get there.
I was meeting Dawson. There, not for the U2. This is a different day. And he was gonna come down with Alan Parsons. And then Dawson's like, Chris, I need a ride. Could me and Alan have a ride to the train station? And I was with a buddy of mine who was able to give us a ride. And all day I was looking at guitar cables, like these really high-end guitar cables where you custom make the length and you can cut them and, make your pedal boards look good. And supposedly they sound better. And they're really expensive. And I was like, I want those guitar cables. That's what's going to give me that tone I'm chasing. And my friend was like, cables don't make a difference at all. And we argued about it all day. And then turns out we pick up Alan Parsons to take him and Dawson to the train station. And on the ride, my friend's like, hey, Alan, do guitar cables matter? And Alan said no. And to this day, he makes fun of me whenever he sees a guitar cable in me. And just rubs it in my face. That's the kind of power this man has. He trumps any sort of argument that you have with friends, and now it just becomes lore. And it's impressive. So that's kind of what happened with Dawson at the birthday. What city was that in?
That show was in Santa Barbara at the Libero Theater, which is for some reason
Legendary.
historic. It may be the oldest theater on the West Coast.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
big time.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to jive because Los Angeles, but then again, Santa Barbara was populated with fucking cowboys and ranchers forever.
Yeah.
I found out actually over the break that I am indeed Mexican.
Congratulations, or should I say felicidades?
Yeah. No, I in fact descend from the Valenzuela family
You know,
from Santa Barbara.
I will no longer question your burrito protocol.
Yeah,
In fact, I will just respect it,
That's right.
possibly consider it. And just a reminder, Dawson will pre-make like, I think, what was it, like 30 to 40 burritos, and then freeze them for the week.
It's in the 12 and 15 range.
I may have overshot a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
30, 40 is a little bit overkill. You got to involve a freezer. I can get through a fridge full of 12 burritos.
Yeah. I had some pretty incredible Mexican food over the break when I went to Scottsdale. And Gary and I will talk about it one day for a little Shay action.
Why not today?
Well, because you have one, and I'm not prepared really.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gary and I didn't discuss this until this very moment.
Let's do it on Patreon.
No,
I want to still fresh in your mind.
It's not going to be on Patreon. We're going to do it. We'll do it on the net, maybe for the six banger, because I want everyone to be able to hear this review. And I agree. Chris and I did sort of chat about like doing this, abstractly, but if Chris isn't ready and you have a Shay, we'll just do it next week. So look forward to that, because I got stuff to say, and I got some of that very, very delicious Mexican food. I hope you ordered what I ordered. It was fucking awesome.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, we'll talk about it off air. But so let's see, Dawson. So you went to the Bay Area. You made some ravioli, just as your Mexican ancestors did.
That's right. That's right. No, these are Big Nana's ravioli. These are Sicilian all the way. And
it sure was a beautiful picture.
What is it? What is it filled with? What's the
backbreaking
filling?
work. What? The filling is spinach, garlic, hamburger, Italian sausage, and another sausage, and Romano cheese.
I love ravioli. I think it's one of the best foods in the world. My only issue is usually when you order it, I find that they give you too little raviolis, like not size, but just quantity.
Yeah, they'll give you like 4.
Yeah,
that's not enough. I need entirely more raviolis.
Yeah.
No, I was surprised at how much raviolis you think you're gonna eat, and then how much you actually really eat.
Yeah.
We make them in cookie trays, cookie sheets, and we fill the cookie sheet with ravioli, and then put some paper, whatever, wax paper on top of it, and then one more sheet, and then throw it in the freezer. Me, my mom, and my dad only ate one single sheet of raviolis, which is like maybe 100 raviolis. They're small, an inch by an inch, but I was like, no way. We're easily going to go through fucking at least 2 layers of that. We didn't. It's weird.
Yeah.
So did you come home with ravs?
I did.
Oh, what's up?
You want to see them?
What's up?
No, I saw the picture. We're good, but
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm happy for you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Now, Chris, I'll bring you some rav soup when I make it. But I made sure. See, look, now I know how to fucking make ravioli now, and so I'm waiting for a weekend home, a rainy fucking nothing to do, and I'm busting it out in this corner, and I'm fucking going for it.
I'm impressed that you finally know how to make them, because I will never forget. It had to have been 7 or 8 years ago. We were all drunk at a Christmas party, and we were outside in the parking lot of the building that no longer is associated, and you were doing this performance dance of like how your mom cuts them, and you were like you were covered in space. You were so excited about it. It was fucking fantastic. It was a performance, man. It's seared in my mind forever.
Yeah, no, my mom gave me this.
Yep. That's exactly what you were talking about. And you're moving around about how to cut them and all the stuff your mom does. Yeah, great.
So I want to talk about, I'm bummed Kalen's not here because I have a bone to pick with him and how he treated me at the Christmas party that we were both at. But I will wait, I guess, when when I see him for Patreon, because I can't stop thinking about it, to be honest.
I'm also pretty sure
I'm the pump. Well, I'm excited. What happened? What did he do?
Kalen's got a bombshell announcement for our Patreon as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I hear.
Just saying.
And
I don't know what you have to say. I don't
Chris.
know.
Give me a little taste of how Kalen treated you. Just to
let's all decide who's in the right or the wrong here before Kalen has a chance to defend himself.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just leave it at this. I made him a hot buttered rum.
Okay.
and what he did with it is unacceptable.
What did he do with
Ooh,
it
didn't
besides
drink
drink it and enjoy it?
What he did with it is now Matt over the break he went to one of his fancy cocktail Christmas bars and he said he had one and he enjoyed it.
I
You
know
don't think
what
that's
I
today's
know what
Shay?
Kalen did.
Because that's fucking absolutely today's Shay. I'm glad we're already talking about this hot buttered
Good.
rum.
I'm gonna go on record and say that Kalen added something
I'm just
to
gonna
the
do
drink,
just whatever
whether it's alcohol or something else, and that deeply offended Chris.
possibly worse. Possibly worse.
Okay.
What
Here's
really
what
happened.
I know Keelan very well, but I'm now afraid that he gave you cold margarine vodka.
Well, I made in return. No, I made him a hot buttered rum, and yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna leave it there. It was delicious, and but what he did, unforgivable. So we'll get into that next time I see him because that maybe maybe that's why he's not here today. He could be ducking me because
That's probably it.
I'm pretty upset. Also, yeah, as I mentioned, I went to Scottsdale for Christmas. Before I went post Christmas. Remember, Matt? So this was after all, and
I
didn't
was worried for you.
I know you were worried for me. I had Christmas cocktails.
Okay.
Yeah, I did all the Christmas stuff, and it was totally fine. In fact, it just felt like it didn't even feel like we were past Christmas. It felt like Christmas was lengthened, and so I highly suggest. I highly suggest.
If I may ask a sub question, part of the reason you were not on our last Patreon episode is because you were doing Christmas late.
Yeah.
So my question to you, good sir, is was your hotel experience before or after your Christmas experience?
After.
After.
Shut the
Day
fuck
after.
up then. Then I will shut the fuck up then.
That's all it takes, and I wish I would have known earlier. No, it was after. Yeah. So my family, my family, my mom's side. Now the thing about when you get married is how you split up your time with all the families who also have maybe you have siblings that are married or have other obligations, and just scheduling it. Everybody knows who has us. It's insane. It's insane.
I love how you're talking to Gary and I don't know where Dawson is on this, but Gary's face is lighting up right now.
Because he understands.
He does, and my cannot be further away because my family-in-law lives on the complete opposite side of the
Right.
world. So this is a zero issue for me, but I would love to hear
Okay,
what you
well, just
this.
I believe that's what you said. So just scheduling alone is just like, okay, well, can you guys? My family will text. Can we do Christmas Eve dinner? No, we can't because Jen's family has this huge thing. What about Christmas Day? Oh, and my brother's like, oh, I can't because we got this, and then and then
Well, Chris, I'll make you feel a little bit better because everything you've said is completely correct, and it is a nightmare because there's all these different subfamilies involved, and you want to be inclusive, and you want to make sure everyone can be involved. But in my particular family, we have 2 of the children have birthdays within 12 days of Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So we have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 other birthday celebrations that we have to work in, and then we have another one in the first 5 days of January. So it's
How many
just
half
like
birthdays?
0. There's 0 half birthdays. That's not a thing. That is a myth perpetrated by my mother trying to surprise me for my 30th birthday and being foolish enough to invite Adam Carolla.
Now with the drive by.
me.
Harry was just.
I love you, buddy.
I heard
Get a working
I heard
mic.
that-
Get a working mic before you fire more shots.
I heard that party was a rager, so I'm not even. Oh,
It was.
I think I went. And it was.
I think you were there. It was pretty.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was a
No, I'm
good
thinking
party.
of your engagement party actually, but yeah, Gary's parties and Laura Lee's parties are top.
Laura Lee's parties for sure.
Anyway, yeah. So scheduling all that, it was rough. So we ended up all agreeing that the earliest we can get together was actually the 27th for dinner, and we did, and it was totally fine. So and we had a great time. So yeah, Christmas was lengthened. I was really fortunate. For Christmas Eve, that's a party where Kaylin slighted me. It was at Jen's mom's house, and Jen had to work, so I had to. I was like, I'll come in early and help. She's like, can you get here around like 3? And I said, fine, no problem. I'll get there around 3, and I'll help set up the bar. If you need to put out or something, I can help with that too, because I'm just watching Benny. So I'm hanging out with Benny. My mom comes over on Christmas Eve day, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, I'm kind of bummed I never got that picture of Benny and Santa. It's his first Christmas, and I never got to have him sit on Santa's lap and get that picture. And she's like, you got to do it. I'm like, well, it's Christmas Eve, and now it's about 1:00. What am I like?
Santa's drunk by now.
Santa's drunk,
There's
or
no chance.
he's either drunk or he's prepping the sleigh, and he's going to be in the sky in just a few hours.
Why not both?
He might be in the sky in Europe right now. So I don't even like. Well, how am I going to get to him?
Yeah, there's
so
no chance.
I'm trying to have this conversation with my mom, and she's just not listening. She's like, Alan Parsons said that we should go, and I was like, all right, we'll do it. So so I'm like, okay, I think I can make a quick. I look up, and there are Santas at malls on Christmas Eve. They're fake Santas for all the parents who have their kids in the car right now. These are imposter Santas, but I still want to get a picture of one of the imposter Santas. Because Santa's obviously getting ready to deliver gifts.
Wait, do you think you just did a service to parents by saying fake Santa for kids in the car?
I don't know. I realized halfway through, like, I don't think this is right. And
No, that's not helpful at all. There are so many crying kids right now. And think about those poor people who are having sex. But go on with your story, sir.
All right, I'll go on with this story that I totally regret now. So I'm like, okay, I could go to. There's this mall that's close by that's totally dead, and it's one of those malls that, like, I'm surprised is even still a mall because there are no stores in it. It's just a ghost town in there, but there's definitely a mall Santa there, and I thought I'll go there. It's a little bit out of the way, but I'll go there because I bet there's not going to be any kids there, and they said that walk-ins are available to take a picture of Santa. So I get my kid into the car, race over to this mall, and walk up with this 7-month-old in a stroller. Shirt says like, "Oh, it's my first Christmas ever," and they turn us away. Like
what?
Like Mary at the end. Yeah, they're just like, there's no room. There's no room, and sorry, no walk-ins. We're just totally booked. And there's like a little bit of a line. I'm like, really, just one more for this kid to have his first picture with Santa? And she's like, nope, sorry, can do. And I thought, all right, well, it is now
I'm sorry, but knowing your wife, how is it possible that we got to this point on Christmas Eve and there hasn't been a Santa picture arranged?
We both work full-time jobs, and it's just been crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah. And so
you think Santa's crazy, Gary?
Yeah, you think
this is the schedule?
So now it is 2:00. I tell my mom couldn't get it, and she's like, "Go to the Buena Park Mall," which is also a mall that is just kind of weird. Yeah,
not a lot of life left in that one.
Why is it weird?
Because it's like it feels like a dying mall. Like there's like
there are several malls around like the Orange County, like South LA area that are on their like last breath.
I'll tell you where I went, Gary. I went to the Westminster Mall. And then I went to the Buena Park Mall. That was
okay. So I was close because I was thinking it was either Buena Park or Main Place.
Okay, yeah. So I went to I see Buena Park is accepting walk-ins. I'm like, I'm gonna be late for for Jen's mom's party, but I gotta get this picture. So now I'm really up against it. I get to the Buena Park Mall. There's a line, a slow-moving walk-in line, but they let me in, and I think, okay, I'm in. So I get in line behind this guy and this kid. And I'm just standing there, and this guy turns to me, and he just goes, "Just watched Aquaman 2." I go, "Oh, all right, that's great. Yeah,
okay. All right.
You did?" He's like, "Yeah, I just got out of the theater and walked into this line." And I went, "Okay,
very." Do you have a kid?
Yeah. There's a kid. There's a kid with him. And I said, "Oh, great. So how was it?" And he looks at me and leans in, and just goes, 10 out of 10. Which now I'm intrigued.
All right.
I am intrigued.
Now I want out of this line because that movie is supposed to be dog shit. And if this guy is unsolicited bringing up the info.
Yes, exactly. I've not heard good things. I'm not going to tell him that. But he just like leans in 10 out of 10. And then I go, oh, great. All right. I'll look forward to it. I haven't even seen Aquaman 1. And then, but I'm like, man, 10 out of 10. That's a high score. But I don't know your bar, sir. What else is a 10 out of 10? What's a 1 out of 10? I need a scale. And then
here, flick this baby.
Unprovoked, he leans in again. He goes, "Hey, a new Godzilla movie's coming out." I love those movies, and that kind of gives me a scale because I don't really care for the new Godzilla movies. So now I question this
Oh, the
guy.
new one is supposed to be amazing, though.
Not
The
no,
new,
no.
new.
Well, that's not. I meant the Godzilla universe, like the Monarch universe, not the.
Oh, he likes those movies. Okay.
Yeah, not this, like the Godzilla versus Kong and like Skull Island and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
not -1. All right.
No, -1 I hear is awesome.
Yeah,
And
it's supposed to be
I
great.
cannot wait to see that. So I'm just in line. Now I'm cutting it. I'm like sweating because I'm just like, dude, this is getting bad, and I'm really gonna upset the MIL if I'm late because she's just she's getting ready for this party and I told her to be early, and then so there's two families in front of me, and two families in front of me in front of the Aquaman guy. They literally take 20 minutes to take this photo because they brought like the grandparents, they brought her and they're I'm not kidding. There were probably 80 photos taken of this family. Because they have to get all the poses. They got to get this kid who's like 6 months old to look up. This kid's not cooperating, but they are not letting go. This kid cooperates and looks up, maybe smiles. And they're doing all these poses. They're putting him on gift box. And I'm just standing there like, what is happening? This is crazy how long this is taking. And to a point, all the other people like apologized for it and all that stuff. And it took forever. And then finally get in, and the lady who's taking the photo goes, okay, this is what you got to do with your new baby. Is you got to slowly walk him over to Santa, put him in Santa's lap, but don't let go. And then me and you are going to very slowly back away. Like it's such a weird procedure, but yeah, imagine this baby.
Yeah, no,
Imagine this person who has-
takes their job seriously. They're doing a
Obviously,
good job.
Yeah, this is not this is
No
never
amateur.
to him
Yeah.
before. So he's just like, what is going on? You're this red fat guy that you're just leaving me with. So I do it. It's totally fine. Santa actually looked a little more uncomfortable than he did. And they're doing all the tricks to make him smile. They have like bells on their hands and like a rubber chicken and flashing lights. None of it works. I'm just trying to get out of there. I get the picture, go over to this party, and I see Kalen, and man, he just really, really does a number on me when I offer him a hot buttered rum, which you're going to hear on the Patreon episode. But oh man, I can't stop thinking about it. And
He put the rum in later, and you didn't get rum. You just got hot butter.
not
Is that
even-
what it is?
oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Oh.
I will just prep.
Worse than that.
Patreon is going to be freaking lit with what Caitlin did to me at this
It's
party.
going to be like a podcast. It's going to be lit times 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's right.
No? Gary's shaking his head. I'm sorry.
Stop being wrong
Mall-
about the number of fucking candles, Matt.
There's
Jesus.
8 nights of Hanukkah. It's confusing.
I just looked it up. Generally, mall Santas make around $30 an hour. It's probably up a little more in California. But mall Santas can make like $100 an hour.
Yeah, Dawson.
The average
That's a nice
pay
beard coming in.
average in the
Dawson.
United States is $60 an hour.
Dawson, I got news for you. They make a lot more than that if they're at the right establishment. Because I don't know,
Yeah.
Chris. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping ahead here, but did you happen to see Santa during your trip?
No.
Okay, I saw Santa during the trip that I took to Scottsdale, and this was a high-end Santa. I would not be surprised if that guy was making $150 an hour because they were
Yeah.
charging exorbitant amounts for a picture with Santa. But they had like this whole setup where you in the line, there's 3 animatronic reindeer. Then Mrs. Claus is sitting a little further down the line, and she's sitting there, and you can take pictures with her. And then eventually you go through a door and you get to see Santa, and it was like the best Santa I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I wonder if if they got an age thing, because I'm considering doing some seasonal work next year.
Dude, I'm not
Dawson, you
kidding. You'd be
absolutely
so
should.
good.
You
could.
Let me
All
tell
right.
you. Let me tell you the mall Santa life right now because I saw it happen at 2
I
different.
mean, it could be miserable. Go ahead.
No, what you need to do is rope in Chris, and then you guys become thieves,
All right.
and then you rob the mall at night.
That was
Let me
actually a
just
good
say,
one. That's
let
fair.
me just say
Thanks.
very quickly, there are 2 documentaries that I'm now burning to tell you guys about. One is called
Bad
I
Santa.
Am one is called I Am Santa Claus, and it's about real bearded Santas, which is an
Okay.
entire subculture
Hey,
of
yeah,
older
those
gentlemen
guys
with
get the big
real
bucks.
beards, and it is just an incredible documentary. The other one,
Yeah.
related to what you were talking about earlier, Chris, is a documentary called Jasper Mall, and it's about a mall in Atlanta that's about to shut down, that's been around like for a really long time in this community. Both of these documentaries are two of my favorites, legitimately, for very different
Can you watch
reasons.
them any time of the year? Or do I have to wait till Christmas?
You should
or
absolutely
24?
wait next year, and I'll try to remind you guys. I Am Santa Claus. That one, the real bearded Santa one, is worth watching next Christmas. The Jasper Mall one, you could watch anytime. I think that one's free on Prime, and that one
Okay.
is fucking amazing.
So, so Dawson, what I saw is just the Santa. You just sit there. You literally hold a kid. You don't even have to smile. You just nod at the kid. Like this Santa didn't even talk. It just
Okay.
he was just
He didn't even hoe?
and didn't eat no
Really?
hose. Just sat there.
No hose.
And then after
Hose?
like 5 kids had to take a break.
Get out of here.
He had to take a break, and he had to leave and go just go to the bathroom. He'll be back in like 10, 15 minutes. He went to go do his thing, and he comes back. That's it.
Wow.
Some fucking
I
bullshit,
could
man.
do that.
You
I
can
can
do
do
No,
that.
no, 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 no.
Not,
How dare
no,
you?
I wouldn't do that. I'd go hardcore with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kids are money. Just keep
Yeah.
them coming, and obviously getting them their gifts.
Can Santa have a tip jar?
No, I don't think they do
Probably
the tip
not.
jar for
If you
Santa.
want
That's a little
cookies,
confusing.
you want a cookie jar? You have a cookie
Yeah, it's a little
jar?
confusing for the kids.
Yeah.
Doss, you weren't here for the last episode, but I recounted one of Brian's experiences with Santa this year. He went to one of these high-end Santas down in Newport Beach area, and this place was diabolical. They would have the parents fill out a questionnaire. Like, does your child have an animal? What's the animal's name? What kind of animal is it? So then by the time the kid gets up to Santa, Santa goes, hey, did Charlie like the gift that I brought him last year? And were you a good girl? And did you ride the bike that I left last year? Like all this shit.
Good.
And it apparently just blew Tessa's mind.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
can
good.
tell. And it's almost like a magic trick.
That Santa's probably making $1.20 an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just one last thing. I felt like I had a really good compliment, and I was really moved by it. So having to take a kid to Scottsdale, first plane ride. We were the parents with the kid on the plane. I'm already nervous about that. You know how I am just checking in a guitar, let alone now I'm the kid. I'm the guy with the kid on the plane. So I'm nervous about him crying, about him upsetting everybody, whatever. And I'm also bringing a car seat because I don't know how to travel with a kid. So I'm like, okay, well, he needs to be in a car seat when we go from the airport to the hotel. So I'm lugging around a car seat throughout the airport. It's and pushing a stroller. Like all hands are taken like ×2 with all the stuff I'm bringing. Just doing all that, and we get to we. So now every Uber that we're taking, I'm installing a car seat in, which is, I guess, it's totally fun. I didn't realize like how cool everybody was about that. But yeah, they come over, I install the car seat, put the baby in it, and we're off. Like it's no big deal. So I thought,
How quick are you? How quick are you these days? Is it
Real quick.
in under 90 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's why they're cool.
Okay. Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense. So, so we go to the hotel. We have fun. Now it's time to get the Uber back from the hotel to the airport, which I installed the car seat. We're in, and it's one of those. I get the XL just because I'm afraid that we won't fit because of the car seat and all the luggage. So, it's like one of those like SUVs with like the third row in the back, but he has that third row pushed down, and we put all the stuff back there. So I put the car seat in, and then me and Jen, we go into the back seat. So she gets in to sit in the middle, and then I go in to sit at the end, and the guy's like, whoa, whoa, sit up here. I'm like, oh, no. Well, no, we're good. I'm just gonna sit back here with the family. No. You sit next to me. I'm like, all right. So I get out, I come back to sit shotgun, and this guy proceeds to get into some pretty deep political conversation that he's been trying to get out. And yeah, and it's kind of going all over the place, and I'm just doing like really shorthand, like, oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Can't argue with that.
yeah, exactly. Just letting him get it out. Jen, by the way, is in the back. She's just going nuts over this guy, whatever. And internally that is. So, but we're going, and then my kid starts to get a little fussy and starts crying. And my trick to have him stop crying is I sing to him. And but I'm letting it go for a while, 'cause thinking maybe he'll calm down, and I'm in the seat in front of him. He's directly behind me, and as this guy's just talking, this Uber driver just complaining about how we're becoming a communist country, and then the
Classic Biden voter.
yeah, and then so it's just going nuts in this car, just chaos. Like this Uber driver, the baby's crying, Jenny's like sighing because she can't get the baby to stop crying, and then I go, "Excuse me, sir," to the Uber driver, and then I turn around, I get him Benny's ear, and I sing him a rendition of "Fly Me to the Moon," which is like a song that works almost all the time. Instantly stops crying. I do the whole song. I just sing it in his ear, really soft, and stops crying, completely calms down, and then I turn back into my seat and shotgun. I look over, and the Uber driver's just sitting there, and he looks at me, and his eyes are watering, and there's a tear coming down, and he just goes, "You have a really beautiful voice, man."
Wow. You sent him to a past time.
I'm like,
You
thanks.
sent him to the moon.
You did.
Yeah, it was very maybe like Ratatouille. Yeah, maybe it triggered like some sort of memory, or unveiled a memory that deep down that he had or something. But yeah, something happened, and it was quite a compliment. It was like, man,
Well
he's a good
done.
audience. He's a good audience.
I hope he
Well-
tipped you.
Well, I think his kid stopped talking to him last Thanksgiving when he brought up all the political shit at the dinner table. He probably hasn't heard from his son in months, so that probably hit hard.
I was like,
Now,
man,
be honest. When you were singing the song, did you add any vocal flourishes to it?
oh yeah, I do. I
Little octave changes, like
I
your
do.
own
There's
little
a
national
there's a
anthem here.
falsetto part that I do.
Little vibrato.
Uh-huh.
Little vibrato. There's a falsetto part that I do that is an instant smile from him. Not only does he stop crying, he smiles at it. Yeah, just insane. As I said, best audience ever. So, yeah, I'm glad it worked, and I will share with somebody else. All right, let's see some comments real quick.
Now it's time for listener comment.
All right, these are all comments found within our Facebook group. Thank you so much for subscribing to this Facebook group that we talked about earlier in the show. The best place on the internet. And all you have to do is go to facebook.com/groups/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. Then answer a few questions. We might let you in. Super easy. And you deserve to be here. All right. Ooh, our old friend, Laura Renee. Known her for many years. She wrote in the Facebook group, "Happy New Year, Army. I think this group can help solve an important argument. Would you call a Chihuahua and Wiener Dog mix a Chiweenie or a Weenie Wawa?" Dawson.
Chiweenie.
A Chiweenie, that's, yeah.
Yeah. I like weenie wawa, but there's too many syllables.
It takes too long to say.
Just too many. Yeah.
I
yeah.
like
No,
I
for-
like it. It
for
sounds
brevity.
easier.
For brevity, it's a Chiweenie.
As somebody who's saying the word and not somebody who's listening to it, I think, yeah, Chiweenie is the move. Any arguments from the other Bobo boys?
I think I line up with you guys completely. I like the other one. I like Chihuahua, but it's, Chiweenie is definitely the way to go.
All right, then it is settled.
Glad we could help.
Yeah, you're welcome, Laura. All right, let's see. Eddie Frausto says, "Stoked to see Adam on Friday. Hope I get to see Dawson because I got a present for you. You may want to wait till you get back to the hotel before you enjoy it." That's Phoenix.
What is it? Yeah, I'll be in Phoenix.
What is it? I think he's purposely not mentioning it, but you can. Why don't you guess?
Because it's probably
Drugs.
Porno Mag. I don't know, dude.
It's delicious cupcake.
It is. It's probably a delicious cupcake.
All right, Dan Churchman. He says he puts a picture of a meme about the TI-89, the graphing calculator. How it's on shelves now for $20, and back in the day it used to cost like a couple hundred. And I was just thinking, you guys remember these calculators?
If I spent as much time actually studying as I did learning to program that thing so that I could cheat on tests, I might actually be doing something with my life.
Wow, yeah. I had this calculator as well. I don't even remember how to use it. If you put one in front of me, I wouldn't even know, other than the basics, like how to count 69 times 5 or 6. But I remember
414.
I remember
Wow, you're good.
using it for Frogger, like video games.
Yeah, Frogger.
that's right.
There was
Oh my
like
God.
some drug game where you were like a drug dealer. It wasn't like Grand Theft Auto, but it was like text prompts or whatever, and you would try
This
to
is
like.
blowing my mind.
You remember that though?
I do now, yes. Like
Yeah.
much like this post itself, the phrase like TI 85 or whatever the fuck numbers they were throwing out, I had not thought about that in decades. And then I absolutely remembered, as you said those words, playing Frogger, and then yes, Gary, some weird game related to drug trading that was like text based. I
Yep.
absolutely remember this stuff.
I know.
What the fuck was going on?
I
This is
remember
know.
it
crazy.
existed.
Days.
Yeah, I remember it existed.
Yeah, this big graphing calculator. It looked way too much calculator for anybody to possibly need.
But then there was also you could figure out like a fake game so that it looked like the game and it would start up, but you could go into the middle of it and manipulate the source code and just add in whatever like formulas and whatever you needed. So during the test, you could just scroll to the back end and all of your formulas and equations and like little helper things that you're not supposed to be having would be there.
See, those are the
It's just
days.
crazy. All of this stuff, like doing math that was so advanced that it required a massive computing machine. That is so crazy. Like learning how to write cursive. I recently tried to write something other than a signature in cursive. I don't remember how to do a capital G in cursive. I just don't remember. And
Gary
I
does.
tried several drafts of it and it never looked right. Well, your name's Gary. So
I'm gonna
you
try.
fucking know how to do it. I'm not impressed by Gary knowing how to fucking do it. That's part of your signature. Yeah, there you go. That looks right. Lots of swoops. Anyway, all of these things that we learned in school.
The top one.
Yeah,
up.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
the
pretty
bottom
good.
One, the bottom one looks like music notes.
Yeah, I'm already so.
Well, capital G
Yeah, I
does
did
look
it.
a lot like a music note.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like a lot of stuff
Your
learned
treble clef.
in school that I guess was just teaching you how to remember things. That to me was the benefit. I learned how to remember things, but I don't remember what I learned.
Well, to think about
Does
now,
that make sense?
like the kids these days, they have internet, like which really has all information out there. Like, remember we used to buy like Cliff's Notes for books that we didn't want to.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
There, we would buy. Oh, I wish I could explain this to Keelan, but I'm so mad at him. We would buy books. We'd go to the bookstore and buy a book that explained what the book is about.
It was a
Fewer
shorter version of
pages.
the
Sort
book.
of, yeah, and much less pages, and try to
Yep.
write a book report off of Cliff Notes.
Oh,
was
because they had
hard as hell.
sections. No, dude, they had sections that was like critical thinking, where they would sort of analyze the book as well. So you could not only learn a shorter version of the book, but you also learned how to interpret the text. Oh,
Yeah,
those were the days.
I mean, Cliff's Notes version is still like a saying, but I don't think people really understand. But
Meanwhile, I spent most of the break spending time with a teacher who was explaining to me how all of his lessons involve Chat GPT and freaking, Dolly and all the different AI stuff. And it's like, that's how kids are learning today. They're
what I'm
learning
saying.
straight up.
I would have
Whoa.
AI write my essays. Like it's just the
Weird.
workarounds that I could do now. Yeah, I'm just I'm in shock. Like it's just the.
Dude, I'm glad. I'm so glad we didn't have those opportunities, because I would have cheated even more than I cheated. And I still got away from school pretty smart. Like if I was able to cheat with AI and really not have to do any work,
Yeah, it wouldn't have been good.
wouldn't have been good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, again, I don't really remember how to write cursive, but there was a time where I had to learn how to do a task. And if now people are bypassing that and just learning how to type a phrase in and they're not actually learning how to do something, who is going to be able to retain knowledge? It's just not going to be possible. Oh my God,
that's
we're
right.
so
That's right.
screwed. We're so
Yeah.
screwed.
Us, that
Ugh.
too, Matt. Us.
Yeah, you're right. But
Right.
we're going to all die eventually, and then they're really fucked.
Have you guys ever? What's the most egregious way you've cheated?
Oh,
I'm
dude,
not.
I
I'm
got a
not
good
answering that question.
Here's
one. I got a
what
fucking great one.
Oh, do you? Okay, well, let me do a really
Yeah, go ahead.
a sub great one, which is that in high school, I remember putting a test down in a biology class, and as I was setting it down, I saw the other person's answers, and I tried to take my test back, and the teacher just fucking caught me and just took my test and crumbled it up. It was just like F. You know, it was just
Oh,
fucking
wow.
done. And there was just nothing I could say. It was brutal. And that happened maybe sophomore year of high school. That
Oh.
was it was so bad. It was so embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Nice. Yeah,
Do
I
it,
cheated
Dawson.
in
What do you
many
got?
ways. I cheated in many ways in college, but my favorite and most egregious was um, I was a communication studies major, and UCSB is big on research of communication. Like UCSB is the reason for the TV ratings that go up on your
Oh, like
television
TV
before a show.
14,
Yeah,
TVMA.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all from UCSB. So I had this one class. They have labs, but they're not really labs. You know, it's not a fucking lab. It's just a
Like
subsequent
a writing lab.
Exactly. So I had this one chick and one of mine. We're working on a group project, and we're talking about the classes we have. And she says to me, "Oh, you got this class?" She goes, "You know, I wrote what the TA said was the best undergraduate work on this subject. Um, I got an A+ on my paper. If you would like to see it to compare notes, you're welcome to it." I'm like, "Well, you know, thank you." I kind of blew her off. Months go by. Paper's due tomorrow. I haven't done a fucking thing. I called her up and I said, "Hey, I just finished my paper. Do you mind if I check yours out and just, you know, compare notes?" "Oh yeah, absolutely, no problem." So I go to her house, I get her paper, and there in fucking bright red ink this is the best undergraduate work I have ever read, A+. I'm like, all right. So I sit down and I turn a 9-page paper into a 5-page paper. Just take out all of her fucking bullshit and just basically condense the whole fucking thing. I realize I have the same TA. I'm like, okay, this could be a problem. So I turn in my paper and I don't show up to class anymore. And about a month later, one of my friends catches me on campus and says, "Hey, dude, TA keeps asking for you in class. She really wants to talk to you about your paper." And I'm like, fuck, I'm about to get kicked out of school. And so I finally go to class and I'm just, you know, I'm ready to get caught for fucking plagiarism. And I go in and she goes, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to give you this paper." She hands it to me and I look at it, and in red ink, it says, "This is the best undergraduate work I have ever read.
Wow.
A+."
Wow. What an encouraging teacher that person was.
Yeah.
Just making all the students feel good.
Yep. So, but that was, boy, I felt really good about that one. And that's, you know, I'm not worried about it. It's common knowledge, and my degree doesn't get me work anyway.
Yeah, but it's and remember, people always say like, "I wish you can, if you can just put the same amount of effort in cheating as you are just learning."
We'll see. That's one of the things, though. One of the things that I learned in college is it's not the grade you earn, it's the grade you bargain for. And I've talked, I went into all classes, you know, they release your grades kind of beforehand. And even if they don't, I go in, I schedule time with the TA. I go in their office and sit down and go, "What's my grade going to be?" And if they said a B, anything in the B range, a B+, I'd be like, "What can we do about that?"
Yeah.
And I'd get them to break down their scoring system. And they'd say, "I see you give 10 points for class participation." She goes, "Yep, and you got all 10. And I go, "Yeah, but I mean, let's think about this.
Yeah, there's a certain
You say
argument.
that I offered to, you know, I made good conversation that generated learning in every single class." And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "And compared to other people who got a 10, did they do it as consistently as I did?"
Oh, so you're
No.
actually you're gonna.
Don't you
I
think
thought.
that's worth 15 points? And they would start moving the grade line. And then finally, one TA said, "If I give you an A-, will you leave?" And I
That's
said, "Absolutely."
So you
She
wear him
said,
down.
"Congratulations." And I left.
Wear him down. Like, look,
Yeah.
see this grade.
No,
rest
like
of
I did not take no for, I should have been a
What?
salesman.
You won't think about me ever again, and we can just
Yeah.
move on. Yeah. All right. We have one more comment here before you do the Shea and the hot buttered rum. This is from Sharon Severson, and Sharon had something for the "This is how you remind me of the Wayback Machine" bit that I don't really know what it's called. But anyway, it's where we play an old clip from a past water cooler, and then we comment on it, just us, because we're different men now. I think we're the same guys, but we're different guys, and
We've been doing the show for almost a decade. At least it feels like
Oh,
that.
really?
It's
So,
about to be a goddamn six-banger.
yeah.
that's right. So this one's an interesting one though, because Sharon pulled a clip from a Patreon episode.
Let's be clear. She didn't pull the clip. She mentioned a clip. I pulled it.
All right, Matt, I will give you your.
Not
Not
I
all
did the
heroes work.
I
Not all
did the
heroes wear
goddamn
capes,
work.
Matt.
All right. Fucking Sharon did not do any editing.
All right, excuse me,
There's a
Sharon.
time code that was not correct.
Sharon, take a fucking seat. Matt, hey, let's go, Matt.
Thank you.
Um,
Also, her clip's from Patreon, which was not the assignment, but whatever. We'll do it.
so
Thank you, loyal listener who is going back and paying for our show and listening to it. Thank you very much.
well,
I'm
here's
sorry.
here's the clip. Sharon sets it up as Kaylin's talking about how boring babies are, and now that Chris is a dad, I think he should weigh in. By the way, I 100% agree that babies are boring. Here is the
Patreon number 8.
Kaylin, do you think you're doing this to yourself?
Patreon.
Maybe you're jinxing yourself because you are now 2 for 2 in when asked about your infant daughter, how is she? Your first response is always the same word: boring.
That's accurate.
That is just an honest response. Infants are boring.
I want someone to make you a shirt that says "Infants are boring," and then I just want a picture of you wearing that shirt, holding your infant child.
I will wear it. I
That
will
would go
absolutely
viral.
wear that.
I
Yes.
think that would go viral.
I bet that shirt exists. They are. They're for the first. It's what, at least 6 to 8 weeks. They won't do anything.
They
Yeah.
can't even see you.
No, and no matter what you do, they won't smile. Like they're just.
Yeah.
Yeah, she barely just started opening her eyes,
Oh,
for prolonged periods of time.
God.
Right, so you can get a lot of TV shows in if her eyes are closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you care what you're watching when she's that young? Could you will watch violent?
Yeah, I'll watch anything. There's no.
Oh, first thing I did when I came home from the hospital was put on an action movie and pump the volume.
Wow.
Straight up, I was trying to condition him to not be scared by loud noises.
Chris is not going to let his kids read the Wikipedia pages.
Oh, yeah, that's
Well,
guaranteed.
unless I read them first.
Sure.
Mike. Come
Approve
on.
it first.
Yes. All right. So there we go.
So, Chris, the first question is, will you let your young son read the Wikipedia pages for horror movies?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Only because, it just
You're the cool dad. You're the cool dad.
I will because I have a feeling he's going to respect plot.
And then I think the more important question, Chris, is you are now well past the kind of time range that we were talking about. What's your ruling?
our baby's boring, our infant's boring.
Yeah.
I say no.
No?
Yeah. But maybe it's because I didn't think life was boring. But I mean, as far as like, if I'm looking at the baby and he's just there, like, I don't know. I loved just watching him coo and move his legs sometimes and maybe crack a smile. It was awesome for me. I was really big on.
I don't think that's the same thing. I don't think you're really
I'm not
answering.
like I'm
the
entertained
point.
enough to just do that. Like I don't need so I don't think that's necessarily boring. Boring is like, oh God, I gotta, maybe I'm getting antsy and need to do like I was just like fine, just hanging with him and staring at him.
No, we were so were Kaylin and I. I think we really enjoyed.
I just love my kid. It's basically what I'm trying to say.
That time period as well, and I don't appreciate your trying to make it seem like we didn't, but they're boring in that they don't do anything. They just literally sit there and try to keep living. But, what?
But they're not. Yeah, but I just don't see how they're boring. Like I mean, there's stuff to do. I changed them.
No, that's
Tell
not.
them
That's
how scary I
stuff
am.
for you to do. I'm just saying, like they don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't see it, Kieran. I just love my kid so much that I just I don't think he's boring just compared to you or Kaylin.
He's finally learned. And what?
You know
413
what? Gary
episodes.
talks. We don't need it anymore.
413 episodes. The kid finally wised up.
Yeah, who needs Gary talks? We got talks right now, baby. All right. Those are our comments, everybody. Thanks for writing in. Let's do a Shay finally hear about some hot butter rum.
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey Matt,
What's on the menu?
Well, on our last Patreon episode, I talked about our Christmas Eve dinner. But let me tell you, the most magical Christmas experience that I had over my break happened before Christmas. It was on the very first night of my break, the Friday. It was actually even the afternoon. There's a pop-up bar, comes around once a year in Austin. It's called Miracle on 5th. It is a Christmas-themed pop-up bar.
Yeah, they have
And
those all over. There are two over here. I think they're called Miracle Bars too, but it's just like they wrap everything in the gift wrap, right? And they have like the fun cups, and you have to reserve a time.
a lot of fun cups. You do have to reserve a time and pay unless you go before 5 p.m. And on the Friday before vacation, I wrapped up at like 1 o'clock. So by 4 o'clock, we were already in line. Took about 3 minutes, and we walked right into this place for free. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was branded across multiple states because, yes, they did have their own like drinkware and gift shop and stuff.
Is it usually a different restaurant and then it turns into Miracle?
This particular location is just an event space.
Oh, okay.
I've mentioned a very fancy schmancy cocktail bar called the Roosevelt Room, which is different than the Roosevelt Room that's in Hollywood. And this event space is called the Eleanor. It's part of the same building. And I'm assuming that they, in this case, have a lot of the same bartenders because they really go above and beyond with the holiday cocktails. But what's really cool is the decor. This was a 3-room Christmas bar. And when you first walk in, it's a much more traditional Christmas bar, just trees and presents and Santas and bells, just like ceiling to floor decor. But past it is a second room that looks like a mountain ski lodge with like ski slopes and like a shot bar. All of the walls.
I believe you're looking for the word chalet.
A chalet. There you go. Good word for that. Another hallway related to what you were talking about earlier, Chris, was, again, ceiling to floor with pictures of crying kids in Santa pictures. Like they just had people send in their pictures of, awkward Santa photos.
Always fun, yeah.
And then a third room upstairs on a balcony that just looked like a Christmas living room with couches and fireplaces, and you can kind of overlook the entire holiday party. And the cocktails were expensive. I mean, they were like $18 to $20 per drink. There were probably 20 different themed cocktails, and each one had a dedicated glass or a dedicated mug. But of course, my eye was immediately drawn to the hot buttered rum. And before we walked in, I even said, if they have hot buttered rum, I have to get it because Chris has been talking about it. And I got to just try it. And I texted you guys when it happened. I'm ordering this drink right now. And then it was served in a Santa Claus mug that Dawson said was like a mug he had from his childhood.
Yeah. We had I think we had 4 of them growing up.
Let me ask you, Chris, what is typically in the hot buttered rum that you make?
Okay, so it's a butter batter made of like butter with spices of like clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, and then brown sugar, and then you take that batter, you mix it all together. So now for the drink, you put a scoop of the batter in, you put some hot water in, you let it melt, put some spiced rum, put a little bit more water, maybe some cream or whipped cream even, and then top it off with a little bit of nutmeg.
That sounds damn near close to what this one was. So I think you will like it in its traditional list because it had the mixed spice butter, which is, I'm assuming, what you're kind of talking about. That to me is probably the key to all of this. Totally. It said on the menu, aged Jamaican rum, velvet falernum, which is basically like a tiki mixer. They use oat milk instead of cream, and then nutmeg. And it's served hot, and it was absolutely incredible. Like, it really did feel like I was at a chalet. That was for you, Gary. And I mean, again, we were up on the balcony overlooking the entire Christmas place because I was like, we just need to go to the backest, highest part of this bar and then kind of work our way forward. And that is exactly what we did. The other big drink that I had was called the Carol Barrel, which was an iced tiki cocktail with whiskey, Navy strength rum, which I see that on menus. I just assume it means stronger.
Yeah, I think it is stronger.
A banana liqueur, something called Guinness Punch. Don't know, don't care. Egg and chocolate bitters and a little more nutmeg. And again, it was served like in a special, mug, like a tiki mug that said ho 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 on it. Lots of hoes, more than the Santas that you visited were willing to give. But let me tell you, this was only phase 1 of our magical Christmas night.
Chris!
Because what's going on? What's up, Chris?
What?
Chris!
Oh, Christmas. There you
Christmas.
go. There you go. Whew, that just clicked into place.
It's been funny for like 20 minutes.
It's been distracting for 20 minutes.
Not for me.
Now I get it.
I'm filling in any gaps. Keep going.
We went from Miracle on 5th Street to the Four Seasons. Not to stay the night, of course, but to look at the gigantic Christmas tree and gingerbread display. And in the back of the hotel, they had an ice skating rink and like a sculpture garden and a light walkthrough. So we had incredible drinks out on this magical holiday patio with this incredible wintry scene. I had the first of many incredible old fashions that I'll be detailing over the course of the next several Chez Fondelays. But this one had some cognac in it, some vanilla chai honey bitters. I mean, what more can you ask for to the start of the holiday season?
Matt, I'm glad you had
can't ask-
a lot of fun. I got to be honest. That sounds like the poor man's Scottsdale Princess.
Really? Well, I look forward to hearing more about that
Just-
on the Patreon episode.
Did-
But until then, that's what's on the menu.
Love it. Thank you,
yeah.
Matt. What can you guys ice skate? I know Gary probably can because he played hockey.
He definitely can.
Gary,
Yes,
can you
I
do that
can.
cool thing where you break and you like spray the ice?
I could certainly. I haven't tried in 20 years.
That's what they're doing.
John, who we'll talk about later, asked me to teach him that, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then as it got closer, I got more and more nervous because I don't know, I might break my neck.
Yeah, ice sports aren't for me. I can't ice skate, snowboard, whatever. I've been skateboarding my whole life, and snowboard is just a different beast. So yeah, I don't do anything in the ice. Maybe I could bobsled. I mean, there's a Jamaican team that certainly was able to do it. I could probably do it, but yeah.
I have ice skated before. I'm not as comfortable on the ice as I am, with some blades.
Yeah.
Give me
Well, I
some
could
fucking-
play like no other.
I
but
played
ice skating.
airborne, baby.
Ice skating.
But yeah, I have definitely ice skated on a few occasions. It's pretty fun, and I will say that I was very tempted to do it this past experience that I just described, but we were already pretty drunk, and I had flashbacks to my bird scooter accident, and I thought, let's just have drinks and watch people ice skate.
Yeah, the thing is about ice skating is it just looks so hard. Like the
It's
floor
tough.
does, the ground does, not the difficulty, but the ground. Like it just like falling on ice just looks like it would hurt a lot.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
And that ice spray thing that you're talking about, like that stopping with that cool shooting thing, that's
Yeah.
fucking really hard to do. Like I can't do that.
Yeah, I'd love to try that.
You need like real ankle strength.
Yeah, Doss, can you ice skate?
I can't. I've never tried. I always
Oh.
want to do. Always
we
wanna
gotta
want
fall
get
on
you
your
out there.
ass.
We gotta get you out there.
I'm sure I would fall on my
so
ass,
many
but I get the
times.
hang of it. I'm pretty good at balance.
Yeah.
I haven't skied in forever. I can't snowboard.
Skiing and ice skating
I can
are very
ski
close.
pretty well.
Oh, then yeah, they're very close. I mean, yeah, just both ice sports.
No.
that
Yeah.
I don't know how to do. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Matt, for that, Shay. And once again, it feels like Christmas was lengthened. Just from hearing that.
It's gonna keep being lengthened because we're gonna hear about your guys' Christmas Scottsdale experience. It sounds like,
Oh, very.
and I still haven't talked about my Christmas night dinner.
Oh, geez, look at us. That's the beauty of the holidays. Just never ends here. All
I'm
right.
gonna get to New Year's around Valentine's Day.
That's about at this rate. That sounds right. All right. You guys want to go around and get our plugs in? Let's
Yeah, I
start
do.
off with Mr. Gary Smith.
Check out our Patreon, please. Patreon.com/watercooler.
All right, nice, easy, and yeah, definitely agree. It's a great place to get more of this, and and plus we do movie nights and a lot of meetups, all the good stuff. So please support us on Patreon. Das, how about you?
I'll be in Phoenix this weekend. Just thanks for coming out to my shows. last year. There'll be more. I hope to take it on the road and shit.
Oh yeah.
So rock and roll.
All right. Yeah, definitely support Dawson. He's been doing a lot of stand up, and he's not slowing down. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, just piggyback on something Dawson said. This is a new year, guys. So thank you everybody for listening to our show. We're excited to have some new content for you guys in the new year. Check out our Patreon for sure. And it's been a while since I mentioned it, but Sword and Scale, true crime show that I write for. I'm very excited that they've chosen my episode for the season premiere, which to the Sword and Scale Plus members is coming out this Sunday, and to just free subscribers will be available in about 2 weeks. So if you want to subscribe to it now, you can do that, Sword and Scale, and the next episode that drops is one that I wrote, and it's a pretty good one, if I may say so.
I got you a new subscriber on my trip, Matt.
Ah, hell yeah. Seriously, that Sword and Scale universe, it is just continuing to grow. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not, but I'll just say that the guy behind it, he's fucking got a brilliant business mind, and there's always new stuff happening. They have their own app for a long time now. But yeah, Sword and Scale. And then there's a Sword and Scale Nightmares that I wrote coming out probably a couple weeks after that. I'll keep you guys posted, but you can subscribe to all those shows.
Love it. And yeah, definitely support Matt and check out his Sword and Scale episode. I'm sure it's very very mild.
It's disturbing.
Oh, good. All right. And as for me, yeah, please subscribe to our Patreon. And if you're in the Orange County area, my band is playing at 25 Degrees on January 13th. All right. That will do it for Watercooler. Thank you again for hanging out with us, for subscribing to the show, for sharing with a friend. Hope you're enjoying the year so far. And we will see you for Patreon later this week. We love you. Goodbye.